What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. Can you find love in a big city? Working for a man every night and day. Okay. But this is one of the things that people kind of overlook, because a lot of times you see these people in these relationships or looking for relationships or looking for love. And a lot of people live in metropolitan areas like big cities. So LA, New York, Miami, Chicago, you get what I'm saying? Houston. Jacksonville is very vast if you don't know that. I think I said Atlanta. The cities got bigger because now the outskirts of the cities, the suburbs of the cities, have become like their own enclave, but a city away from the city. So this is one of the reasons why it's hard for people to find quote unquote love, because at the end of the day, what side of town are you on? See, people keep talking about flying, maybe able to find long distance love or being willing to find it. The issue is, could you deal with long distance love in your own city? What if you got to drive 30 miles away to be with the person that you just met? How long will you be able to do that? See, that's where a lot of this stuff comes from, because you might like somebody, but you might not like the commute. Because now you're not willing to drive that 30 minutes every other night to see them while y'all trying to build a relationship. So now, who are you competing with? Are you competing with somebody, say, if I'm on the east side of town and she's on the west side of town, if we don't see each other enough, what if I meet a woman on the east side of town? What if she meets a man on the west side of town? The convenience of being closer to each other makes it so, even if I like you, you might lose this competition out of proximity. That's an issue. And people might go, well, no, it's not. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. What if, you in New York, you find somebody, they live in Queens, you live in Staten Island, or they live in Brooklyn, you live in, the Bronx, and it's a little bit of a journey. People aren't as loyal as they once were. Well, they could hold it down when you're going, because people are going out. I don't even know why people are going out, but people are going out so much. There's so many events. There's so many people to meet. There's so many options that aren't really options that you believe is an option, that you can always assume that you can replace somebody, because it's a big city. You got ample opportunity. Now, anybody who's ever been on a dating site knows that a lot of people wind up swiping through that whole city on that dating site. Now, I know people who would get on multiple dating sites. So they'll be on Match, POF, Bumble, Tinder, and they literally have thousands of options fitting their criteria. And they wind up, the ladies in particular, they wind up swiping through all of them. Like, it's just a fun little game. Like, okay. But if you meet somebody and you go, oh, man, so where you live at? I live here. You live there? Now, the interesting thing is, if you live in what's considered a nice area, they may try to make it work. If you live in it's cool, but I kind of live comparable to that, maybe not. And, so it becomes a class issue, and it becomes a proximity issue. So for me, I'm like, maybe, just maybe, a lot of people don't really want to deal with the fact that if you're living in a big city, that's where kind of the cheating ramps up. Or even if it's not cheating, it's the dating or the hooking up or the hanging out, whatever you want to call it. Because you can literally be with somebody and wind up sneaking around with somebody on your side of town and they not know it. Or you can wind up dating people on multiple sides of town, and all the people don't know because they don't frequent the same venues, unless you wind up, in a very popular spot that everybody from all sides of town go to, and then you wind up running into your significant other. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, oh man, this is gonna get real. But when it comes to this modern day dating thing, it's like, well, when are we gonna admit people look at large metropolitan cities as, you know, this is my little, the north side, south side, east side, and west side it's 4 separate little honeypots. You know, I got a lot of action on the north. I got a lot of action on the south. I got a lot of action on the east. I got a lot of action on the west, and they all separate. So I got time to run through the 4 corners of the big city to find love, and and I got ample options on each side, and you wind up with nothing at the end of the day. I'm just saying. And what happens when you find somebody? I think the goal is to find somebody that you're compatible with, that you like, and who's not that far away from you. You get what I'm saying? And then it can hold you down, whatever that means. But you tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die. Try and catch you on the next one. Peace.